Remembering in 2021, a trip that Linda and I took to Santa Barbara and Westlake Village. And I was so grateful for that trip. And reminiscing on it brought back the feeling of the gratefulness that at the time, it was a trip that we wanted to do for quite a while. But reflecting back on it now after she's passed away, just how wonderful that trip really was and how much of a blessing it was for the both of us. We went all around to through Westlake to the old familiar places, the Oakview apartment complex, and just the old familiar places that we used to go to when we lived down there, to see it again and reminisce a little bit with each other. And it was wonderful. And I'm so happy that we did that. It would have been terrible had we pushed off that trip because circumstances were not the most ideal to take that trip, but we took it anyway. And I'm so happy that we did, and she was very happy that we did. She enjoyed it tremendously, going to Westlake and then going to Santa Barbara. Such a blessing as I look back on it today, that trip. Yeah, Linda and I did have a history going to Santa Barbara and visiting, and it was nice to go back there and touch back with those roots from the 70s when I lived there as a student in college. But more importantly, the Westlake years were so important. So many things. It's the beginning of our family. It was just really wonderful. Whether it was Oakview where we lived, or we lived at the Roach Coach Motel or place. I can't remember what the name of it is in Thousand Oaks. We lived there for a while too. But just being in that area, because Linda and I, when we lived down there, we met at Litton Data Command Systems, and she was a graphic designer and I was a photographer there, and we met there, and we found that place in Westlake, which was just a wonderful place that we lived at on Instone Court. But it's such a blessing as I think back on it that we got to make this trip before she passed away. But you can't just put off things thinking that you have time, because it was so evident that, upon Linda's passing, that, you think you have more time than you do, and you really don't. Because those early years in Westlake, when the family was young and we were just growing, it was so wonderful. Everything was so new, and we were learning how to be parents and trying to do our best with things. And it was difficult times, and it was good times. And it's such a great memory to have. But I'm very happy that we were able to touch bases with that again before she passed away, because I know she was very happy to go down there and see these things. So please enjoy some memories from that trip down to Westlake Village from August of 2021.